Hello dear all, welcome to TechZone for GATE series program. I hope you are enjoying analog circuits under GATE series program and taking all the benefits. Now we are going to start with the subject electronic devices and circuits, that is popularly known as EDC. This is one of the core subjects for electronic students and highly recognized in core electronic job and very much scoring in GATE exam and other competitive exam also. Apart from electronic students, this subject is very useful for other streams also, as like electrical, instrumentation, for those who are appearing in other competitive exam as like ASC exam, that is also known as IS exam, ISRO, etc. Apart from this, a part of this subject is very useful for better understanding of the subject analog circuits also. So ultimately I can say that this subject is highly useful, very interesting and scoring. So now we'll talk about the precautions in EDC subject. तो जैसा कि यहाँ पर हमने मेंशन किया है, read the questions carefully and completely along with the data and information given in the questions. सो कई बार स्टूडेंट्स एग्ज़ाम के प्रेशर में क्वेश्चंस को अच्छे से नहीं पढ़ पाते हैं, डेटा को अच्छे से रीड नहीं कर पाते हैं, क्वेश्चन के हर एक स्टेटमेंट का हर एक वर्ड का मीनिंग होता है। फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आप कॉमन इमीटर एम्पलीफायर यूज़ करके आप गेन निकाल रहे हैं तो वहाँ पर निगेटिव आता है, लेकिन वहाँ पर अगर मेंशन है क्वेश्चन में मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ द गेन तो वहाँ पर नेगेटिव वैल्यू नहीं लेना है, वहाँ पर पॉजिटिव वैल्यू लेना है। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स आपको मिलेंगे जहाँ पे केयर करने की ज़रूरत है और वहाँ पर डेटा को भी अच्छे से एनालाइज करने का ज़रूरत है। कई बार एज पर द क्वेश्चन डेटा जितना दिया होता है वो सारा यूज़ नहीं होता है, तो वहाँ पे परेशान नहीं होना है। सो ये सब चीज़ों को आप केयर करेंगे इस पॉइंट में। उसके बाद है टेक केयर अबाउट द यूनिट्स कन्वर्सन। सो कई बार वहाँ पे लिखा होता है एज लाइक लेंथ आपको दिया रहेगा माइक्रोमीटर में, लेकिन हम लोग जनरली यूज़ करते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेंटीमीटर में टू मेक द यूनिफॉर्मिटी ऑफ द यूनिट्स अलॉन्ग विद द अदर पैरामीटर्स। तो वहाँ पर भी आपको ये यूनिट कन्वर्सन का केयर करना चाहिए ताकि आपका आंसर सही यूनिट के साथ और सही एक्सपेक्टेशन के साथ एज पर द क्वेश्चन आपका आंसर आए। तो ये सारी चीज़ों का आप वहाँ पर ध्यान रखेंगे। हमने नेक्स्ट पॉइंट यहाँ पे मेंशन किया है एक्स्ट्रा केयर इन कैलकुलेशंस। तो यहाँ पर ईडीसी में या तो आप बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा वैल्यू के साथ डील करते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल 10 टू द पावर 17, 10 टू द पावर 15 एंड सो ऑन, या फिर आप बहुत छोटा वैल्यू के साथ डील करते हैं एज लाइक 10 टू द पावर -6, 10 टू द पावर -9। तो वहाँ पर कैलकुलेशंस में मिस्टेक्स होने के चांसेस होते हैं। तो इसीलिए आप यहाँ पर जब भी कैलकुलेशन करेंगे ईडीसी में तो बहुत ही सावधानी के साथ वहाँ पर कैलकुलेशन करेंगे ताकि आपका सही आंसर एज पर द क्वेश्चन आए। उसके बाद हमारा नेक्स्ट पॉइंट है रिमेंबर सम स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू एंड यूज़ इट एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स। तो जैसे कि कई बार वहाँ पर मेंशन रहता है थर्मल इक्विवेलेंट वोल्टेज वीटी। तो वीटी का वैल्यू अगर क्वेश्चन पेपर में मेंशन है तब तो ठीक है, अदरवाइज हम लोग जानते हैं वीटी का वैल्यू क्या होता है KT/Q, और यहाँ पर रूम टेम्परेचर में इसका स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू होता है 0.02594। ये कई बार क्वेश्चंस में हम लोग यूज़ करते हैं, डिस्कस करते हैं। तो वहाँ पर देखना क्वेश्चन पेपर में अगर कुछ वैल्यू मेंशन है एज लाइक VT इज इक्वल टू 25 मिली वोल्ट और 26 मिली वोल्ट, तो वहाँ पर ये वैल्यू लेना है। अगर नहीं दिया है तो बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट आप इस वैल्यू को ले सकते हैं फॉर द फर्दर कैलकुलेशन ऑफ द क्वेश्चन पार्ट। और इसके अलावा कई बार जैसे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चार्ज Q हम सब जानते हैं इसका वैल्यू होता है 1.6 इंटू 10 टू द पावर -19 कूलम। तो कई बार क्वेश्चन में अगर कुछ स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू नहीं दिया हुआ है तो आप ये सारे स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यूज़ को याद रखेंगे और वहाँ पर यूज़ करेंगे। तो इस तरीके से ये सारे पॉइंट का प्रिकॉशंस लेंगे ये एग्ज़ाम में, क्योंकि ये सब्जेक्ट बहुत ही यहाँ पर स्कोरिंग सब्जेक्ट होने वाला है। तो इसीलिए आप इन सारे पॉइंट्स को ध्यान में रखेंगे। और इसके बाद हम लोग अब आगे देखते हैं इस सीरीज़ के ईडीसी का पहला क्वेश्चन। सो इस सीरीज़ के ईडीसी सब्जेक्ट का अब पहला क्वेश्चन आपके सामने रिप्रेजेंट होने जा रहा है। सो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, वेरी फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर दिस सीरीज ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट ईडीसी। सो द क्वेश्चन हियर इज लेट अस एज्यूम T इज इक्वल टू 300 डिग्री केल्विन। The silicon based semiconductor is having Nd is equal to 10 to the power 15 per centimeter cube, mu p is equal to 458 centimeter square per volt centimeter, and tau p is equal to 1 microsecond full stop. The diffusion length in micrometer due to holes is fill in the blanks full stop. So here, as like in the analog, we had seen the serial number as a 1, A2, A3, A4, A5 and so on. So that A was denoting about the analog. Here this E is denoting about that ADC subject. So just आपके information के लिए हमने ये बता दिया है. अब हम लोग देखते हैं next question. So the question here is, in a semiconductor, if EF is positioned at EC, the probability of occurrence of electrons in states at EC plus KT is fill in the blanks, and answer should be up to 3 decimal places full stop. Next. So the question here is, a semiconductor in equilibrium is characterized by the energy band diagram shown in figure is maintained at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin, Ni is equal to 1 into 10 to the power 10 centimeter raised to minus 3, mu n is equal to 1345 centimeter square per volt second, and mu p is equal to 458 centimeter square per volt second full stop. The equilibrium electron and hole concentrations are option A, N0 is equal to 1 into 10 to the power 15, P0 is equal to 9.34 into 10 to the power 5, option B, N0 is equal to 1 into 10 to the power 13, P0 is equal to 1.0 into 10 to the power 5, option C, N0 is equal to 1.07 into 10 to the power 15, P0 is equal to 9.34 into 10 to the power 4, option D, N0 is equal to 1 into 10 to the power 15, P0 is equal to 1.0 into 10 to the power 5. So these all the values are having the unit of centimeter raised to minus 3, that is also called per centimeter cube, and this is the energy band diagram given here. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, a portion of X varying from 0 to L of a silicon sample uniformly doped with Nd is equal to 10 to the power 15 per centimeter cube of donors is maintained at room temperature, is subject to steady state perturbation such that P is equal to Ni into 1 minus X by L plus Ni square by Nd, where X is varying from 0 to L. Assume electric field E is equal to 0 in the region of x0 to L, dp is equal to 20 centimeter square per second, electronic charge q is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, and Ni is equal to 1 into 10 to the power 10 centimeter raised to minus 3 full stop. The current density due to holes at x is equal to L by 2 is fill in the blanks into 10 raised to minus 4 ampere per centimeter square full stop. So this is the sample given here. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, which of the following sketches best describe the Dn, that is diffusion coefficient, versus Nd, that is donor concentration, dependence of electrons in silicon at room temperature question mark. So this is the graph given here between Dn versus Nd. So now we'll see next. So the question here is, in an intrinsic semiconductor, the position of Fermi energy level can be controlled by option A, temperature, option B, effective density of states, option C, effective masses of charge carriers, option D, forbidden gap. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, in a non-degenerate germanium sample maintained under equilibrium conditions near room temperature, it is known that Ni is equal to 1 into 10 raised to 13 per centimeter cube and N is equal to 2 into P full stop. The whole concentration at same temperature condition is option A, 1 into 10 to the power 12, option B, 7.07 into 10 to the power 12, option C, 1 into 10 to the power 13, option D, 1.414 into 10 to the power 13, and in all the options units is centimeter raised to minus 3. So the question here is, a certain semiconductor has Eg is equal to 1.1 electron volt and Fermi energy level Ef lies below Ec by 0.25 electron volt full stop. At the same condition for the same semiconductor, option A, Ef minus Ev is equal to minus 0.85 electron volt, option B, Ef minus Ev is equal to plus 0.55 electron volt, option C, Ev minus Ef is equal to minus 0.85 electron volt, option D, Ev minus Ef is equal to minus 0.55 electron volt. So next. So the question here is, a silicon sample is doped with 10 to the power 17 boron atoms per centimeter cube having intrinsic carrier concentration of 1.5 into 10 to the power 10 centimeter raised to minus 3 and hole mobility mu p is equal to 250 centimeter square per volt second and electron mobility mu n is equal to 500 centimeter square per volt second at room temperature full stop. The resistivity in ohm centimeter at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin is, fill in the blanks, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. Next. So the question here is, consider two gallium arsenide wafers, one is N type, another is P type, are uniformly doped such that Nd of wafer 1 is equal to N of wafer 2, which is much greater than Ni full stop. Which wafer will exhibit the larger resistivity question mark? Option A wafer 1, option B wafer 2, option C both is having same resistivity, option D cannot say as per the information. Next. So the question here is, in a semiconductor, the effective density of the states in the valence band depends upon option A doping process, option B temperature, option C effective mass of holes, option D effective mass of electrons. Next. So the question here is, the total current density in a semiconductor is constant and is composed of electron drift and hole diffusion current full stop. The electron concentration is constant and is equal to 10 to the power 16 centimeter raised to minus 3 full stop. The hole concentration is given by Px is equal to 10 to the power 15 exponential under bracket minus x by L centimeter raised to minus 3 for x greater than equal to 0, where L is equal to 12 micrometer, dP is equal to 12 centimeter square per second, mu n is equal to 1000 centimeter square per volt second full stop. The total current density is J is equal to 4.8 ampere per centimeter square. Then the drift current density due to electron in ampere per centimeter square at x is equal to 0 is, fill in the blanks full stop. Next. So the question here is, consider a compensated N-type silicon at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin with a conductivity of sigma is equal to 16 ohm centimeter raised to minus 1 and an accepted doping concentration of 10 to the power 17 centimeter raised to minus 3 having mobility of electron mu n is equal to 400 centimeter square per volt second full stop. The donor concentration is option A Nd is equal to 2.5 into 10 to the power 17, option B Nd is equal to 3.5 into 10 to the power 17, option C Nd is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power 17, option D Nd is equal to 1.0 into 10 to the power 17, and in all the options this Nd value is having the unit of centimeter raised to minus 3. Next. So the question here is, at room temperature a semiconductor is doped with Nd where Nd is much greater than Ni and has a resistance of R1 full stop, and another semiconductor with the same geometry is doped with acceptor impurities Na where Na is much greater than Ni, yielding a resistance of 0.5 R1 full stop. If dN by dP is equal to 50, then the ratio of doped impurities Na by Nd is, fill in the blanks full stop. Next. So the question here is, minority carriers holes are injected into a homogeneous N-type semiconductor sample at one point full stop. An electric field of 50 volt per centimeter is applied across the sample and field moves these minority carriers a distance of 1 centimeter in 100 microsecond and Kt by Q is equal to 0.0259 volt. The diffusion coefficient of this minority charge carriers under bracket in centimeter square per second is, fill in the blanks, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. So the question here is, consider the doping profile of a p-type semiconductor shown in figure is maintained at room temperature with Vt is equal to 25 millivolt full stop. The built-in potential in millivolt at room temperature is, fill in the blanks, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. So this is the doping profile given here. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, two ideal P plus N step graded junction diodes maintained at room temperature are identical except that Nd1 is equal to 10 to the power 15 per centimeter cube for diode 1 and Nd2 is equal to 10 to the power 16 per centimeter cube for diode 2 full stop. the ratio of approximate reverse saturation current IO1 by IO2 is fill in the blanks and required approximation is applicable, full stop. Next. So the question here is an open circuited PN junction diode electric field profile is shown in figure 1, full stop. Later on it is biased with different voltages and their corresponding electric field profile is shown in figure 2 with respect to figure 1, full stop. The correct electric field profile corresponding to their bias region is given as option A 1 forward bias, 2 forward bias, option B 1 reverse bias, 2 forward bias, option C 1 reverse bias, 2 reverse bias, option D 1 forward bias, 2 reverse bias. So this is the electric field profile for this open circuited of the PN junction diode. It means before the biasing, and this is the electric field profile after the biasing. So now we'll see next. So the question here is a silicon step graded PN junction diode is maintained at room temperature is doped such that EF is equal to EV minus 2 kT on the P side and EF is equal to EC minus under bracket EG by 4 on the N side, full stop. If EG is maintained at 1.1 electron volt at room temperature, then the built-in voltage in volt fill in the blanks up to 3 decimal places, full stop. Next. So the question here is considering an N plus P silicon step graded diode having Na is equal to 10 to the power 15 per centimeter cube, tau n is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 second, A is equal to 10 to the power minus 3 centimeter square, Ni is equal to 1 into 10 to the power 10 centimeter raised to minus 3, Dn is equal to 20 centimeter square per second, and electronic charge Q is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, full stop. If applied voltage VA is equal to 0.5 volt, then the approximate diode current due to electron at room temperature is option A 15.3 microampere, option B 17.30 milliampere, option C 17.30 microampere, option D cannot be determined. Next. So the question here is consider two silicon P plus N step junction diodes maintained at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin are physically identical except doping on the N side shown in figure, full stop. Which of the following are correct? Question mark. Option A, diode 1 will exhibit larger built-in potential compared to diode 2. Option B, diode 1 will exhibit larger breakdown voltage compared to diode 2. Option C, diode 1 will exhibit lesser junction capacitance, that is Cj, compared to diode 2 at a given reverse bias voltage. Option D, diode 1 will exhibit lesser built-in potential compared to diode 2. So this is for the diode 1 and this is for diode 2. Now we'll see next. So the question here is consider an abrupt P plus N junction diode where Na is much greater than Nd, full stop. The junction of the diode lies option A towards N region, option B towards P plus region, option C in the neutral region, option D at middle point of the depletion region. So the question here is an approximate linear plot of the minority carriers concentration on the N side of two P plus N diodes are maintained at room temperature is shown in below figure, full stop. The N side doping Nd and the cross sectional area A are same in both the diodes, full stop. Assume low level injection prevails, full stop. Which of the following are correct as per the above explanation, question mark. Option A, both the diodes are forward biased. Option B, diode A is forward biased and diode B is reverse biased. Option C, no bias. Option D, both the diodes are reverse biased. So this is the plot given here. Now we'll see next. So the question here is the approximate energy band diagram given below characterize a silicon step junction diode maintained at room temperature, full stop. Energy gap of silicon at room temperature is given as 1.1 electron volt. Then the magnitude of the voltage applied to the diode is fill in the blanks volt and answer should be up to 2 decimal places, full stop. So this is the energy band diagram given here. Now we'll see next. So the question here is an abrupt P plus N junction is formed in silicon is reverse biased, full stop. The correct graph which best describes about the junction capacitance Cj versus VRB is. So in this option, these are the graph between CZ, that is called junction capacitance, versus VRB, which is called reverse bias voltage. So these graph are shown in all this option. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, the reverse saturation current of a diode depends on option A, temperature, option B, material of a diode, option C, intrinsic carrier concentration, option D, doping. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, a diode is characterized by the following semi-log plot where VA is applied voltage and IO is reverse saturation current, full stop. The slope of the line in linear region is option A, Q by KT, option B, KT by Q, option C, exponential Q by KT, option D, exponential minus Q by KT. So this is the semi-log plot given here. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, in a P plus N step graded junction diode, if N region doping ND is doubled and everything else remains unchanged, full stop, which of the following parameters increase with the increase of doping ND, question mark? Option A, junction capacitance, option B, built-in voltage, option C, breakdown voltage, option D, depletion region. So now we'll see next. So the question here is, for a P plus N step graded junction diode, the reverse bias breakdown voltage depends upon option A, doping of P plus region, option B, doping on N side, option C, band gap of the semiconductor, option D, temperature. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, a silicon solar cell having area of 2 cm by 2 cm with thermally generated reverse saturation current Is is equal to 32 nanoampere has an optical generation rate of 10 to the power 18 electrons holes per centimeter cube second within LP is equal to Ln is equal to 2 micrometer of the injection and depletion width is 1 micrometer, full stop. The open circuited voltage in volt of the solar cell at room temperature is, fill in the blanks, and answer should be up to 3 decimal places, full stop. So now the question here is, for an NPN transistor having IB is equal to 6 microampere, ICBO is equal to 0.5 microampere and alpha DC is equal to 0.98, then the value of IC in microampere is, fill in the blanks, full stop. Next. So the question here is, for an NPN BJT at room temperature having base doping of NB is equal to 10 to the power 15 centimeter raised to minus 3, Ni is equal to 1.0 into 10 to the power 10 centimeter raised to minus 3 and VBE is equal to 0.5 volt. Then the electron concentration at the edge of depletion region of base to emitter junction towards base side is option A, NP at 0 is equal to 2.42 into 10 to the power 15, option B, NP at 0 is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 11, option C, NP at 0 is equal to 2.42 into 10 to the power 13, option D, NP at 0 is equal to 2.49 into 10 to the power 10. So in all the options, values are having the unit of centimeter raised to minus 3. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, in a BJT, NE, NB and NC are doping of emitter, base and collector respectively, full stop. When base to collector junction is reverse bias, then the base width modulation takes place, full stop. To reduce the base width modulation effect, the doping concentration should be option A, NE is equal to NB is equal to NC, option B, NE greater than NC greater than NB, option C, NE is equal to NB and NC greater than NB, option D, NE much greater than NB and NB greater than NC. Next. So the question here is, two NPN BJTs are identical except that the emitter and collector region doping shown in below figure, full stop. Given VBE1 is equal to VBE2 and VCB1 is equal to VCB2, full stop. Which of the following statements are correct? Question mark. Option A, BJT1 is having greater emitter injection efficiency compared to BJT2. Option B, BJT1 is having lesser emitter injection efficiency compared to BJT2. Option C, BJT1 exhibit larger VCBO compared to BJT2. Option D, BJT1 exhibit lesser VCBO compared to BJT2. So this is the BJT1 given here and this is the BJT2 given here. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, for an NPN BGT having IEN is equal to 100 microampere, IEP is equal to 1 microampere, ICN is equal to 99 microampere, and ICBO is equal to 0.1 microampere, then the value of ICEO in microampere is, fill in the blanks, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. So the question here is, in a MOS capacitor, flat band voltage depends upon option A, work function of metal, option B, work function of semiconductor as a substrate, option C, oxide semiconductor interface charge, option D, capacitance offered by the oxide layer. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, in a MOS capacitor, the ratio of maximum capacitance to the minimum capacitance is 4, and the ratio of the permittivities of the semiconductor to the oxide layer, that is epsilon S by epsilon OX, is equal to 3 full stop. The ratio of maximum depletion width to the oxide thickness of this MOS capacitor is, fill in the blanks, full stop. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, consider the energy band diagram of an ideal MOS capacitor based on silicon substrate shown in the below figure, full stop. If the gate voltage Vg applied is positive, then which of the following statements are correct? Question mark. Option A, substrate is P type. Option B, substrate is N type. Option C, MOS capacitor works in inversion regime. Option D, MOS capacitor works in accumulation regime. So this is the energy band diagram given here. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, the DC charge distribution of an ideal MOS capacitor is shown in below figure, full stop. Which of the following are correct? Question mark. Option A, semiconductor as a substrate is P type. Option B, semiconductor as a substrate is N type. Option C, MOS capacitor works in depletion regime. Option D, MOS capacitor works in inversion regime. So this is the charge distribution profile given here. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, consider a p-type substrate based MOS capacitor at room temperature having Na is equal to 1 into 10 to the power 13 centimeter raised to minus 3, Ni is equal to 1 into 10 to the power 10 centimeter raised to minus 3, electronic charge Q is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, and the relative permittivities of silicon, that is epsilon S, is 11.7 full stop. The magnitude of charge per unit area as a QD in depletion region in nanocoulomb per centimeter square at a strong inversion is, fill in the blanks, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. So the question here is, as per the body effect in a MOSFET, the change in threshold voltage due to substrate bias is option A, directly proportional to substrate doping, option B, directly proportional to a square root of magnitude of body bias voltage, option C, directly proportional to a square root of substrate doping, option D, inversely proportional to substrate doping. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, consider an n-channel MOSFET at Vg minus Vt is equal to 3 volt and Vd is equal to 1 volt exhibit a drain current of 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 4 ampere full stop. If Vg minus Vt is equal to 3 volt and Vd is equal to 4 volt, the drain current is, fill in the blanks, into 10 raised to minus 4 ampere full stop, where Vt is threshold voltage of the MOSFET. Next. So the question here is, an ideal n-channel MOSFET has an inversion carrier mobility mu(n) is equal to 500 centimeter square per volt second, a threshold voltage Vt is equal to 0.5 volt, and an oxide thickness TOX is equal to 40 nanometer full stop, when it is biased in saturation region with VGS is equal to 5 volt, having ID saturation is equal to 6 milliampere, then the ratio of W by L is, fill in the blanks, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. Assume relative permittivity of oxide is 11.7. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, assume a MOSFET is working into saturation region whose current voltage relationship is given by ID sat is equal to Kn under bracket Vg minus Vt whole square, and part of transfer characteristic is shown in the below figure, full stop, where Vt is threshold voltage full stop. The device parameter as Kn is, fill in the blanks, microampere per volt square, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. So this is the characteristic given here, Now we'll see next. So the question here is, if the internal condition inside the MOSFET is as shown in the below figure full stop, as per the channel length modulation, if Vg greater than Vt, MOSFET operates at option A, pre-pinch off with Vd is equal to 0 volt, option B, pinch off with Vd is equal to Vd saturation, option C, pre-pinch off with Vd less than Vd saturation, option D, post pinch off with Vd greater than Vd saturation. So this is the figure given here. So the question here is, for an ideal n-channel MOSFET operating in saturation region, then their transconductance depends on option A, geometry of the device, option B, mobility of the charge carriers, option C, gate to source voltage, that is VGS, option D, threshold voltage. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, an IV characteristic of an n-channel MOSFET is shown in the below figure full stop. At Vg minus Vt is equal to 3 volt and Vd is equal to 2 volt, the drain current ID is fill in the blanks microampere full stop, and this is the characteristic given here, and this is the unit of ID as a milliampere. You must have to take care about this. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, a silicon NMOS uses an aluminum gate having Na is equal to 10 to the power 15 centimeter raised to minus 3, oxide thickness is equal to 10 nanometer, W by L ratio is equal to 10, threshold voltage Vt is equal to 1 volt, and mu n is equal to 800 centimeter square per volt second full stop. If VDS is equal to 0.5 volt and VGS is equal to 5 volt, the resistance between drain to source as a RDS is fill in the blanks ohm, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. Assume relative permittivity of oxide is 3.9. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, for an n-channel enhancement MOSFET with sufficient drain voltage to be in saturation and mobility is assumed to be constant under this condition, the drain current is 50 microampere at Vg is equal to 1 volt and 200 microampere at Vg is equal to 3 volt full stop. The threshold voltage Vt is fill in the blanks volt, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. Now we'll see next. So the question here is, an n-channel MOSFET is characterized by the Vi characteristic shown in the below figure full stop. Solid curve is showing the characteristic of MOSFET without channel length modulation, and dotted curve showing the characteristic of MOSFET with channel length modulation full stop. The channel length modulation parameter as a lambda is V raised to minus 1, that is also called as a per volt, and answer should be up to 2 decimal places full stop. So this is the characteristic given here, and this is the VDS in terms of volt here. Now by this way, this is the end of the question here. All the best.